I'm Christy. Today I want to talk to you about getting your message across. So I realized as I was writing last week's post that there's a lot more to communication than just knowing what and when and how to say something to another person and get your point across. To me, the whole point is clear communication. You say what you mean, they understand what they understand, and hopefully the two meet in the middle with both of you understanding the same concept. Sounds simple until it's not. Once again, special needs complicate things. Sometimes communication is simply difficult. For example, if you travel to a foreign country, you're likely to have trouble communicating because of the language barrier. Now, although having lived overseas, it's amazing how much your little bit of their language and their little bit of English can get you pretty far on a shopping trip. Now, many times with special needs, it's a similar situation. Your loved one may not have verbal skills. That is, they may not be able to speak well, clearly, or even at all. Gestures can help. But frustration is likely to be a regular visitor in these situations. Now, let's back up a step. What is communication? To me, communication is simply getting your thought across to another person. It might be as simple as, I'm hungry. Or it might be as complex as trying to explain Einstein's law of relativity. Being able to get your thoughts, concerns, and needs across to another person in a way they can understand is the basic foundation for communication. Now, notice I said nothing about words specifically. Communication can happen apart from words. Think about all the ways we can communicate non-verbally, or how some people can have an entire conversation with just a look passing between them. That's still communication. Admittedly, using words to communicate is typically easier and faster. Well, I don't know. If you think about when you watch someone sign, if they're fluent sign, their hands can fly. But they're still using words to communicate. Words simplify things. What happens though if your loved one can't communicate verbally or with any form of words? Then what do you do? Over the years, we've used a number of different forms of communication with AJ. He didn't start talking until sometime in second grade. That's a long time to go. We use signs, a bit of PECS or the Picture Exchange Communication System, and we even tried a communication device. Now, once he started talking, he hasn't stopped. I joked for the first few years that he was making up for all those years of not talking. But he still hasn't stopped, and he can be quite a chatterbox, so I'm not sure what excuse I can use now. I should also say that we still use a bit of sign in our family. Using the sign for toilet when out in public is simple and quickly communicates without having to interrupt another conversation or embarrass yourself. I also find myself using signs with little kids before they start talking. Over the next few weeks, I want to take a look at these other forms of communication, and maybe even a few additional ones. Maybe we can discover some other alternatives together. So my question for you this week is this. Have you used any other form of communication with your loved one? Do you have a suggestion you'd like me to cover in this series? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in June of 2021. I'm grateful for all the different communication forms that we've used, which help me continue to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.